Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I am Laura and I make videos about things that interest me, mostly period drama content and K-pop content, but you're gonna see some Monster High content coming up soon on my channel as well. Anyways, before we get into it, I want to apologize for any dog barking you can hear in the background. I live in a village. This is unfortunately way too common here. So in today's video, I will be ranking Monster High movies. And also, before we get into it, I want to say that this will not include the reboot because I have not seen the reboot and I just want to get this done before I lose any brain cells while I watch the reboot. Yeah. I apologize to everyone who loves the reboot. I'm very sorry, no offense to you. It's completely fine. This is just my personal taste.
That's my opinion!
Alright, so without anything further to say, let's get into the ranking. At number 13, we have Escape from Skull Shores. I honestly don't have much to say about this movie, but it sure isn't bad. I mean, it's just not really my thing. I'm glad it is short because I don't like watching it that much, and also rewatching it made me kind of bored as well. It's like Gil complaining for 40 minutes. Honestly, the only character that didn't annoy me in this movie was probably Abby. I like Abby a lot. Also, during this whole movie, while watching it, I was just telling myself like,
this would all be over if Abby would just use her powers.
That's the only thing I could think of, honestly. The thickies were cute, but other than that, I really don't have anything to say. I don't ship Andy with Frankie. Yeah. But to say something positive about the movie, short-haired Frankie is really cute. Some of the outfits were nice. And also, Farnham, or whatever his name is, he is voiced by the same person Hawkmoth is voiced by in Miraculous Ladybug. I would rate it like a 2.5 out of 10, probably. Next up, we have Fright On. So Fright On is basically about like this fight between the vampires and the werewolves. It discusses racism in a way that I don't think any other like kids movie has ever done before, and I think it does it really well. This is where we get introduced to Gory. We also see Howleen for the first time, I think. I love Howleen. And whoever says that this look on her was not good is lying, because she looked adorable in her short haircut. It's definitely better than Skull Shores, but it is not as good to me as the other movies are. But I do think the franchise needed this movie because it discusses an important topic that is really relevant to our current society. I would probably rate it as a 4 out of 10, but only giving it a 4 out of 10 because Nephra was in it.
Come down for breakfast. Is that what you're wearing? That wasn't even fashionable when I was in school.
But if we talk about how well the movie discussed the topic it was tackling, then obviously I would give it a higher score. It's just, personally, it's not something I enjoy watching like all the time. I don't think it's that rewatchable, but it's not bad, obviously. It's good, but not great. So at number 11, we have Scaris. So I think Scaris is definitely directed towards kids, and it reminded me of that Barbie movie where she went to Paris. Yeah, it's almost the same thing, but with a Monster High twist on it, with a kind of a creepier twist on it. I really thought that Rochelle and her love interest were really interesting. We got to meet Kalida and Gina Fire. I love them both. Especially Gina Fire, she's gorgeous. Then I think it dragged on for another like 30 minutes. I don't know, it made me so confused that I was just like, why can't the movie just end already? I don't think there was a need for that. Probably just to keep kids interested, It's just not for me. So yeah, I would give Scares like a 4.5 out of 10, probably. So at number 10, we have Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love? I think it is good, and I like the plot, and I like the overall concept. It's just, to me, it's kind of a lot to think about at once. It's like a very serious kind of topic in a way. It could be relatable to like a lot of people who deal with like internalized homophobia and toxic masculinity in a way. I think that there was so much potential that they could have done with Van Dyke's character later on, but they just didn't include him anymore. And that kind of saddened me because he was very obviously gay coded, as the creator confirmed himself. He said that Valentine was supposed to be, outed as gay in his diary, but that didn't happen because Mattel said that it was not the right time. Well, when's the right time? It's never going to be the right time if you don't do it yourself. Like, come on. Anyway, also, I just did not like how Draculaura treated Claude, because Claude was really trying his best to please Draculaura, even though he didn't necessarily know what could have been the best present that he could have given her. And, she could have at least appreciated that he was trying his best. And, presents don't always represent how much you love someone. How much you love someone is represented by the way you treat them. So yeah, I think that made me kind of saddened. I actually gave this movie like a rating of 8.5, which is actually higher than some of the movies that I'll be talking about later on. But the only reason that it is ranked lower is because I just think the other movies are better, even if I don't want to give them as high of a score. I don't think I'm making any sense by this, but yeah, it's just my intuition and how I feel about these movies, like how rewatchable they are, how likely would I be to watch them if they were in just a Monster High movie, kind of like that. All right.
That's my opinion!
So, at number 9, we have a New Rule at School. I think that it is a perfect introduction to Monster High for anyone who would like to get into Monster High. And I think it works for both younger and older audiences. The soundtrack is great. And also, I can relate to Frankie a lot, especially because I think I felt the same way as she did when I went to high school. I guess I felt kind of alone and like I didn't really fit in, but Monster High characters are there to like make you feel comfortable about yourself. Also, can we just talk about Cleo's character development? Like how she was in this movie is so different to like how she is in New York, and I will talk about that later on. I would probably rate it like a 7 out of 10. And the only reason that it has a lower score than Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love is because I didn't like the plot as much, but I would probably be more likely to rewatch New Ghoul at School than Why Do Ghouls Fall in Love. So at number 8, we have Friday Night Frights. I don't remember much from this movie. Now, I know that we got introduced to Rebecca, which is great because I absolutely love her. And at first, I ended up watching it because I wanted to make an edit for a song called Fight Like a Girl by Zolita. I think it's a good movie, and I definitely rewatch it because it was really interesting. But I just don't think it is better than the others. And yeah, I really enjoyed it, but That's all I can say. I would probably give it a score of like 5.5 out of 10. Alright, so next up we have Great Scare Reef at number 7. Actually, I changed it up because at first I wanted to rank Friday Night Frights higher than Great Scary Reef, but then I realized that I kind of enjoyed Great Scary Reef, and I know a lot of people didn't. I actually did enjoy it a lot because I like mermaids. And it still kind of makes me annoyed how like Gil and Laguna are still together after all that time, because who even likes them as a pair? Like,
He was always like, oh, you're a sea monster and I'm a freshwater monster. Like, we don't belong together. Like, it's bad, your parents won't like me. And Laguna's like, no, my parents aren't racist. But they're like, no, they are. Trust me, I know. It's so annoying. I don't like it. Laguna deserves better than that.
also, while watching Great Scary Reef, I kind of thought of Barbie and a Mermaid Tale Part 2.
And while watching it, I was kind of like, oh, but this is so much like Barbie. Like, if I wanted to watch Barbie, then I would watch Barbie.
But I was really glad that they forgave Torlai in the end.
I love Toralei so much. Toralei and Laguna, I ship them. Why not?
Anyways, I would rank it at like a same score as the other one, 5.5 out of 10 probably. So next up, we have Freaky Fusion at number 6. I really liked Freaky Fusion, and I liked how they went back in time. And I liked how the fusions looked like, especially Toralei and Cleo. I thought it was really interesting, and I really liked the hybrid monsters that they showed, especially Serena, I don't know how you pronounce it, her. I can relate to her because I also get distracted easily. I also really liked how they discussed the importance of like therapy in a way, and like just like how talking is important to like process things better. So plus points for that. I really liked Rebecca's dad and Victor Frankenstein, but like by the time that the whole like monster was created or whatever, I just my mind kind of blocked out, so I don't really remember. But I do know that I really enjoyed the movie. I'm gonna give it 7.5 out of 10. Alright, next up we have 13 Wishes at number 5. And I know this is most people's favorite movie, but I have seen it so many times that at this point, I just don't want to watch it. Like, I honestly, like, thinking about it, it makes me like, okay, I don't want to rewatch it, but whenever I rewatch it, I'm like, okay, but it's really good. Why didn't I want to rewatch it? So, yeah, that's why it's number 5, because I watched it too many times.
I love Howling so much, she's adorable. And Twyla too. Twyla is great. I want more of Twyla. She's so comforting and cute. I really, really like the idea of Howling and Twyla together, and especially during the end where Howling was like, well, she'd better be with Twyla than with, the popular people.
And I also really thought that Wisp was an interesting character, mostly because I feel like she didn't like get enough like screen time. I feel like she should have showed up in like later movies or something, because I would have liked to hear what Wisp was up to later on. Like, they just brushed her off so quickly. It makes me upset. But if she's happy, I'm happy. Whatever. And I think this was the first time we met Kitty Noir, though I'm not exactly sure, so don't quote me on that. I love Kitty so much.
And I also really liked like what they said about Howling, like only Howling knew what she saw that day. That part to me was just so interesting and so beautiful.
Alright, so I would rate 13 Wishes maybe an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. So then at number 4, we have Ghouls Rule. Ghouls Rule is also one of my favorite Monster High movies. I love all of them, honestly, but Ghouls Rule, it's great. It discusses police brutality and prejudice and racism in a way that I don't think any other kids movie has done before. This was a very big step for them to do, and I am really glad that they did it because it had to be done and talked about in a kid friendly way, because honestly kids need to be educated about these things as well so that they don't grow up into adults that are just ignorant and racist, because with so many adults who still deny that police brutality exists and such serious things exist, when it's so clear that so many innocent people are being punished by the police for absolutely no fucking reason other than the fact that the police are racist. That's all I'm going to say. Not going to get into it more because I know someone would want to pick a fight with me for it. So, Ghost Rule is very, very interesting. And I really loved it as a kid too, but I think as a kid I found it a bit way too scary for my taste. So I didn't watch it that much, but it was very meaningful as a kid to me as well. Because I think that even when I was younger, I still liked movies that discussed more serious topics. Also, Nephra was in this movie. I love Nephra. Can we talk about her a little bit? I love her. I know she's like mean and evil and everything, but
There's just so much about her character that is like, she's capable of so much more. And to me, she's not just like an evil, like, bitch or whatever people want to say she is, because she is so much more than that. She's capable of so much more than that, and her character is capable of so much more than that. The main villain in Cleo and Nephra's story is Ramses. We have to talk about like who raised them at first before we just look at them as characters. Like, yes, Nephra has a lot of problems, but just look at Ramses. He's literally using his own daughter for selfish needs. Anyway, we're going to talk about this later on when it comes to Booyard. And also, again, Cleo's character development. How much she has changed from Guzrul to Booyard, because while in Guzrul, she breaks us up with Juice because her father and Nephra tell her that Juice is not good enough for her. So she breaks up with him. But of course they get back together in the end. But in Booyard, Cleo does not let that get into their way. She loves him and tells him, not to listen to people who are telling him that they don't belong together, because they do. Because they love each other, and that's what matters. Someone tell Gil this, because Gil clearly doesn't understand. Gil, please watch and learn. Please. We are begging. Please, just watch and learn.
one thing I do not understand is that, they were willing to do this, but they were not willing to, like, make Valentine gay because it was not the right time. So, like, when is the right time? I don't get it.
Also, Claudine's side plot was very relatable to me, because I also have been in experience where people would, like, push me to, date a guy or whatever. But I clearly said, you know what, I'm not interested right now. And I was always, like, more into girls than I was into guys. So just knowing that Claudine is lesbian just makes so much sense to me. Even though I'm bisexual and I like guys in a way that, like, not all the time.
So, I will give Guzrul a rating of an 8. Yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8. Next, we have Haunted at number 3. I really, really enjoyed Haunted. I think that it was really, really interesting. I really enjoyed Haunted. I was really excited to see Kiyomi and Draculaura because a lot of people said, like, Kiyomi is clearly into Draculaura, and I was really excited to see that. And yes, I can see Kiyomi is clearly into Draculaura. I love it. I love Kiyomi. She is so cute. I loved how she expressed her emotions with, like, colors. I thought that was really, really sweet.
I also really liked Potter. I thought he was really sweet. Also, this guy who's, like, apparently, like, Oferta's boyfriend or whatever, like, Johnny, whatever his name is. Like, when did he appear? Where did he come from? Why is he there? I don't know. I need to watch Haunted to understand what was going on, because I don't know, like, who Johnny is.
I really liked how they showed that a lot of teachers or people in the education system use their students as a way of, if they're in a bad mood, like if the teacher is in a bad mood, that they can put it out on the students. And I think that was really shown in this movie and discussed very well. And also this like whole concept of you feel like everybody else hates you, but it's not actually true. Like the person who is causing your own suffering and your own pain is actually yourself. And often you're the one who needs to make the change. So I really loved that that was being discussed. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about Haunted. I really loved it. So I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Next up, on number 2, we have Fright Camera and Action. Mostly because they went from like the USA to Transylvania, from Transylvania to England, and from England to Hollywood. I thought that was so interesting, and I loved it.
Also, Igor was so adorable. I just felt so bad for him the whole time. I was like, oh, poor baby, he's so cute. Like, my poor baby. I felt so bad for him. Like, he's being used by this bad man. Like, I don't know. I was so happy in the end. He was like, Igor wants to watch a movie. And Gory let him in, and I was like, oh, like, he's gonna watch his first ever movie. Like, that is so cute. I was so happy for him. I almost cried. Why am I talking about Igor? Oh my goodness. He's not the main focus.
We got to meet Claudia, Viperine, and Elizabeth in this movie. About Elizabeth, I think she was an interesting character, but I didn't care for her as much as I cared for Claudia, to be honest, but I thought that the plot was really interesting. And Viperine, I would have liked to see more of her. She's really pretty. Yeah, it's just such a fun movie. Like, if you want to take your mind off things, that's the way to go. Alright, so I would give it a 9.5 out of 10 as a rating. Alright, so to number 1, we have Booyark Booyark. If you know me, you know why. I have this at number 1. I love Nephra. Nephra is the love of my life.
Yes, Queen. I love you. I'm gonna worship you. Everything. Just marry me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm crazy.
Really love Toralei too. Toralei is great. When is she not great? I just love her and her stupid little thing she does. Like, she just makes the mood so much better when she's there. Like, never was right. Having Toralei around is great.
The music was amazing. I loved it. Search Inside by Katie Nor, beautiful. Beautiful. Empire is great. It's a ball. Booyark Booyark is also amazing. I love it. Each song on the album is just a masterpiece. Anyway, I think we found out a lot about how like abusive Ramses really is, because he's a bad person. He's a bad father. And like he was literally wanting to ask Nephra to marry Seth Ptolemy. And Nephra was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And honestly, I think she's a lesbian. Mostly because, first of all, we have never seen Nephra with a guy before. Number 1 indicator to me. 2, she didn't want to marry Seth, even though there was like so much power she could have gotten out of that. Like, she could have been, I don't know, like the princess of Booyark or whatever. Like, that would have been a big deal, right? So why didn't she do that? Because she's gay. Obviously. I just want to see more of her. She's such a good character. She's so... There's more there, in my opinion, than what is shown. I don't know, Nefer is just really interesting. Both the Nile sisters are just so interesting. Also, we really saw how strong Cleo and Juice's relationship is in this movie. And Cleo's character development. She was ready to give up everything just to please people. And people say like, oh, she only thinks about herself. No, she doesn't. She loves Juice. She loves her friends. She cares about her family, even though they treat her like crap. So please stop calling her selfish because she is not. I loved Pharaoh and Katie. They are so cute. I feel like Pharaoh's plot was very interesting. And actually, he kind of reminded me of the song Speechless by Naomi Scott. And also, that little scene between Ramses and Madame Ptolemy. Is something going on? Genuinely asking. Because in my fanfic, yes, there is. Other than that, though, no. Not in the show. I think they could have done something with that. Because I don't know if there were plans for the reboot by like 2015. Because I feel like if they hadn't done the reboot, there would have been so much that they could have done. So much. Genuinely. And they didn't. I don't like that. I really hope that the new Monster High episodes coming out in 2022 will be good and not like the reboot. Also, Astronova and LED, they were kind of interesting characters, but I cared more for Luna Motius and Mercedes. I actually really liked Mercedes, to be honest. She was really cute. See, this is why I write fanfics, because it's like anytime I find something good, there's just a way people ruin it. I write fanfics, so I don't have to think about how bad the reboot is. Well, this was my ranking. Feel free to disagree. My opinions are not set in stone or anything like that. I am really open to my opinions being changed. Please be respectful in the comment section if I rank the movie you like low. I'm really sorry, but please just be nice in the comment section if you disagree with me. If you want to, please feel free to leave your ranking down below. I will gladly check it out. Yeah. Thank you for watching this video. See you later. Bye.